The scrapyard was silent. Metal pieces, broken machines, and shattered glass lay in every corner. Smoke rose slowly from cracked engines, and the ground was dry, black, and lifeless. Above it all, two suns burned through the sky, casting long shadows across the junk. No one came here except workers who dumped trash and left. No one listened. No one cared. But beneath a pile of bent metal, something moved. A soft, weak sound escaped, a whimper. It was not loud. It was barely more than a whisper, but it was a cry. A living creature was there. Small, hurt, forgotten. The aliens who left it behind didn't even look back. To them, it was useless. A failed experiment. A broken pet. But someone heard it. Not a soldier. Not a scientist. A human child. Leo was 12. His parents worked as engineers on the trade ship Pathfinder, which had landed on this planet to collect spare parts from the scrapyard. While the adults worked, Leo was told to stay on the ship. He didn't listen. Leo loved to explore, and the scrapyard looked like an adventure. So, wearing a dusty helmet and holding a flashlight, he walked between the heaps of alien trash. He kicked a metal rod. A loud clang echoed. He laughed. He jumped onto an old robot shell. "Cool," he whispered. Then he heard it. A sound. Soft, broken, like something crying. Leo froze. He turned off his flashlight and listened. There it was again. A faint cry. High-pitched, almost like a baby animal. But it wasn't quite right. It sounded electronic. He looked around. Nothing moved. Still, the sound came again. Leo followed the noise. He climbed over a pile of broken solar panels and pushed aside a burned-out console. Then he saw it. A small creature, maybe the size of a backpack, curled under twisted wires. Its skin was smooth, glowing faintly blue. Two large eyes blinked slowly. Tiny arms twitched. It was shaking. Leo knelt down. "Hey, what are you?" he whispered. The creature didn't speak. It only made a soft, sad sound. It looked scared. Leo reached into his backpack and took out a protein bar. "Are you hungry?" he asked. The creature didn't move. Leo broke the bar and placed it in front of it. Slowly, the creature reached out and touched the food. Then, surprisingly, it spoke. Just one word. "Help." Leo's eyes widened. The voice was weak, almost robotic, but full of pain. You can talk." The creature nodded slowly. Then it collapsed. Leo looked around. "I can't leave you here," he said. He picked up the creature carefully. It was warm. Very light. Its skin flickered like soft lights in a toy. Leo ran back to the ship, hiding the creature under his coat. Back inside his room, Leo laid the creature on his bed. He locked the door and pulled the curtains. The creature opened its eyes again. "Thank you," it said. Leo smiled. "What's your name?" The creature blinked, confused. Leo thought for a moment. "I'll call you Pip. Is that okay?" The creature made a soft peep. Leo took it as a yes. He gave it water and wrapped it in a blanket. Pip looked around the room. Then from his forehead, a tiny light flickered and projected an image on the wall. Leo gasped. It showed a large lab, cold, clean, full of aliens with sharp tools. Creatures like Pip were inside glass containers. Some were awake. Some were not. Then the image changed to show Pip being thrown into a dumpster, alone. Leo felt anger rise in his chest. "They did that to you. Why?" Pip turned to him and said slowly, "I failed." Leo shook his head. "No, they failed you." Just then, Leo's tablet buzzed. It was his mom. "Leo, where are you? Come help us unload the tools." He quickly typed back, "Coming in 5 minutes." Leo turned to Pip. "I have to hide you." Pip nodded. He curled up into a small ball, lights dimming. Leo placed him inside a storage box with air holes. He whispered, "Don't worry, Pip. I won't let them hurt you again." As Leo left the room, he didn't notice the faint light still glowing from Pip's eyes, or the soft signal being sent from Pip's body into space. Far above, in the orbit of the same planet, a small alien drone blinked red. It had picked up a signal, and now it was moving. Pip stayed quiet all night. Leo checked the box every hour. The little creature was still glowing, breathing slowly, like it was dreaming. He didn't tell anyone, not his parents, not the ship crew, not even his best friend back on Earth. Pip wasn't just a stray animal. Leo could feel it. Something about Pip felt important. The next day, Leo pretended to go help in the storage bay. But instead, he snuck back to his room with food and tools. Pip was already awake, blinking at him. "I brought you water. And some nuts," Leo said, placing the bowl in front of Pip. Pip reached out and touched Leo's hand. Suddenly, Leo felt a soft warmth spread through his fingers. His tablet beeped. It wasn't even on. "What was that?" Leo whispered. Pip's body glowed a little brighter. Then, from the tiny orb on his forehead, another image appeared, floating in the air like a 3D picture. Leo stepped back. He saw a machine. No, something like a living computer, with arms and legs. It was Pip, but different. Newer, stronger. Then came a flash. Aliens, tall, cold-looking ones with metal skin, walked in. They stared at Pip as he completed a puzzle in seconds. Then they frowned. They shook their heads. One said something that sounded like, "Failed." The image changed. Pip was pushed into a black bag. The bag was tossed into a ship. That ship flew away from the lab. The last thing Leo saw in the image was a sign. "Property of the Xarni Empire. Do not reuse." Leo sat down, stunned. "You're not a pet," he whispered. "They built you for something." Pip nodded. "But why would they throw you away?" Pip's eyes dimmed. Then he said slowly, "I wouldn't hurt others." Leo froze. "They wanted you to be a weapon," he said quietly. Pip nodded again. Leo felt his heart beating faster. His palms were sweaty. He didn't know much about the Xarni Empire, only that they were powerful and cruel. They built weapons, conquered planets, and didn't care who got hurt. If Pip had been one of their tools, and he escaped, they might come looking. That evening, Leo's dad called him to dinner. The family sat in the ship's dining room, eating quietly. His mom looked tired. "Trade went well today. We'll be leaving orbit in 2 days." His dad nodded. "Good. I don't trust this planet. Too quiet." Leo wanted to tell them. But what would he say? "Hey, Mom, I rescued a talking alien weapon from a trash pile." No, he had to protect Pip. No one else would. Later that night, Leo showed Pip a toy puzzle. "Can you do this?" he asked, handing over the cube. Pip looked at it. A second later, the puzzle solved itself with a flash of light. Leo laughed. "Okay, that was awesome." Pip chirped happily. Then something strange happened. Pip raised a hand. A soft hum filled the air. Leo's room lights flickered, then turned off. The flashlight on Leo's bed floated into the air. "Whoa," Leo gasped. Pip lowered his hand, and the flashlight dropped. "You're not just smart," Leo whispered. "You can control things. Energy. Machines." Pip blinked slowly. "More. Learning." Leo leaned in. "What else can you do?" Pip hesitated. Then another image appeared. This time, Leo saw a massive weapon, so large it looked like a moon. Inside it, tiny creatures like Pip sat in pods, linked to machines. Their minds powered the weapon. Then Pip showed another image, a planet. It exploded into pieces. Leo's mouth opened. "They used you to destroy that." Pip looked away. "Not me. others. Suddenly, an alarm beeped from Leo's wall screen. He jumped. Unknown signal detected, the ship's AI said. Leo quickly hid Pip back in the box and ran to the hallway. His parents were already checking the control room. There's something outside the ship, his mom said. A probe. Not ours, his dad added. Xarni design. Leo's blood went cold. They found him. Back in Leo's room, Pip opened his eyes. He knew what that signal was. They were coming. The command room lights turned red. A loud warning echoed through the ship. Unidentified drone detected. Approach in progress. Possible threat level. High. Leo stood frozen near the doorway. His hands shook. He knew why the drone was here. They had found Pip. His father looked at the radar screen. That's Xarni tech. No doubt. His mother narrowed her eyes. They're not supposed to be in human trade zones. Why are they here? Leo opened his mouth, but stopped. If he told them now, they might give Pip back. To keep the family safe. To avoid war. No, that wasn't right. Pip didn't deserve that. Back in his room, Pip sat silently in the box. He knew. Leo closed the door and whispered, "They found you, didn't they?" Pip nodded. Yes. Leo knelt down. Why now? You've been quiet. How did they find you? Pip blinked slowly. They left. Tracker. In my core. Woke when I healed. Leo sighed. So just being alive was enough. Yes. In the next hour, a large ship appeared in orbit. Xarni design. Smooth, black, and full of weapons. They sent a message. To the human vessel Pathfinder, you carry stolen property. Return subject Theta now. Do not delay. Leo's father looked at the screen. Stolen property. What are they talking about? The crew began searching the ship. Leo rushed to his room. Pip looked up. I must go, he said softly. No. Leo said. They'll destroy you. You showed me what they did to the others. Pip looked down. If I stay, they hurt your family. Leo clenched his fists. We can hide you. We can run. Pip shook his head. They always find. Leo suddenly had an idea. What if we fight? He brought Pip to the engine room. No one else was there. Can you connect to the ship? Leo asked. Pip looked uncertain. Not sure. Too old. Leo handed him a tool. Try. Pip touched a power cable. His small fingers glowed. Lights flickered again, but this time, stronger. A hum filled the ship. The engine core's readings jumped. On the control deck, Leo's mother gasped. What the? The ship's speed just doubled. His dad stared. Something's in the system. Leo ran in. We need to go. Now. His parents looked at him. I know what they want, he said quietly. They want Pip, the creature I found. But he's not just some pet. He's alive. And he doesn't want to hurt anyone. His father's face turned pale. Leo, what have you done? Leo didn't back down. I saved someone who begged me for help. Now I'm asking you, please help me protect him. For a long second, no one spoke. Then his mom said softly, set course for the nebula. We'll lose them in the interference. The ship turned sharply. The Xarni vessel followed. They sent another message. Final warning. Hand over the unit or face destruction. Pip stood on the deck beside Leo, his blue glow pulsing softly. No, Leo's father said, staring at the screen. You don't get to make demands on a human ship. The engines roared. The Xarni fired a warning shot. It hit their rear shield, hard. Sparks flew in the back systems. Shields at 62%, shouted the pilot. Pip raised his hand. Suddenly, the shield levels jumped. Shield back to 90%. The crew shouted in shock. Pip's voice echoed calmly. I help now. The chase continued into the nebula. Thick dust clouds and magnetic storms filled the space. Perfect place to hide. Leo's mother whispered. But Pip knew something else. They won't stop, he said. He turned to Leo. I am not only one, Pip said slowly. Others, still alive. Leo's eyes widened. Like you? Pip nodded. They keep them in vaults. Sleep. Pain. Control. Leo felt sick. They use them for war. Yes. Pip raised a hand again. This time, a new image filled the air. A huge base, dark halls, cold machines, dozens, maybe hundreds, of creatures like Pip, trapped in cages, wires in their heads. Leo whispered, we have to save them. Pip looked surprised. You would help. Leo didn't even think. Of course I would. You're not just tech. You're alive. You're my friend. Pip's light glowed brighter than ever. But then, something changed. He trembled. Pip fell to his knees. Pip, Leo shouted. The creature whispered one word before going still. Hive. Pip lay still on the floor. His soft blue light had faded. His tiny body was cold. His eyes stayed open, but they didn't move. Leo shook him. Pip, wake up. Nothing. Then Leo heard it again, inside his own head this time. A soft whisper. Hive. Connected. They found me. Leo stood, heart pounding. Pip hadn't fainted. He'd been taken, hacked from the inside, controlled by something far away. Maybe the Hive. Maybe something worse. Meanwhile, the ship Pathfinder was shaking. Another hit from the Tarni warship slammed into their shields. Shields at 44%. Someone shouted. We can't take another blast, yelled Leo's dad. His mom stared at the radar. They're not trying to destroy us. They want to board. They'll take Pip, Leo said as he entered the control room. And they'll erase all of us. His voice was steady, even though he was scared. We need to do something now. His father looked at him. What are you saying, Leo? Leo pointed toward the nebula on the screen. That cloud up ahead. It's full of electric storms. We go inside. It's our only chance. Are you crazy? The pilot said. No ship can survive that. Leo stood firm. Then we don't survive either way. But they won't follow us inside. Everyone went silent. Then Pip's voice echoed faintly from the hallway. I can guide ship. Everyone turned. Pip stood in the doorway. His body shook. One eye glitched, but he was awake. Leo rushed over. You're okay. Pip nodded slowly. Hive touched mine, but I broke free. For now. Leo looked into his glowing eyes. Can you really guide us through the storm? Pip raised his hand. A map projected in the air, a path through the nebula, full of sharp turns, electric pockets, and gravitational holes. But there was a way through. The order was given. All crew, brace for entry, shouted the captain. The Pathfinder dove into the glowing cloud. Lightning flashed across the windows. The ship groaned. Panels sparked. Everyone held on to their seats. In the engine room, Pip sat connected to the ship's systems. His small fingers glowed. His eyes stayed shut as he guided the ship left, right, up, and around each deadly trap. Pip, are you okay? Leo asked over the comm. No reply, just a faint humming. Then, boom. An explosion rocked the ship. Side engine hit. Fire in the lower deck. Someone yelled. Leo didn't wait. He grabbed a fire mask and ran. The hallway was full of smoke. Leo reached the lower deck. Flames danced along the wall. A pipe had burst, leaking hot steam. He jumped over broken crates and pulled down the emergency lever. Foam sprayed across the fire, slowly putting it out. Then he heard coughing. He looked around and saw a crew member trapped under a metal beam. Hold on, Leo shouted. He tried to lift the beam. It didn't move. Then Pip arrived. His body dim and flickering, but still strong. He raised a hand. With a pulse of energy, The beam floated. Leo pulled the crewman to safety. "You did it, Pip." But Pip collapsed again. Back on the bridge, Leo carried Pip in his arms. "Is he dying?" Leo asked. His mother checked the readings. "No, just drained. He used too much energy." They looked at the radar. Behind them, the Xarni ship had stopped. "They're not following," the pilot said. "They're afraid of the storms." Everyone cheered. They were safe. For now. That night, Leo sat beside Pip's small bed in the medbay. He held the creature's tiny hand. "I'm sorry," Leo whispered. "You came for peace, and they only wanted to turn you into a weapon." Pip blinked slowly. "Still alive. Thanks to you." Leo smiled, tears in his eyes. "We'll fix this. We'll tell Earth what they're doing. We'll stop them." Pip whispered, "Then we must go to Vault." Leo leaned in. "Vault?" Pip nodded. "Where they keep the others." Leo's face hardened. "Then that's where we're going." The nebula was behind them. The Xarni warship had turned away, afraid of the electric storms. But Leo knew the peace wouldn't last. He looked down at Pip, who was still weak, his small body flickering. His eyes blinked slowly, struggling to stay open. "Pip, how far is the vault?" Leo asked, his voice filled with determination. Pip's weak voice came, "Many light years." Leo's heart sank. "So we're not even close." Pip nodded slowly. "Far. Hidden. In the deep. Xarni keep it. Secret." Leo clenched his fists. "We'll find it. We'll get there. I promise." Back on the bridge, Leo's mother was making calculations. The Xarni had given up chasing them for now, but Leo knew it was only a matter of time. They had to get to the vault first, before the Xarni did. The captain looked at Leo's parents. "We can't travel that far without refueling. We'll need to stop at a station." Leo's father glanced at the display. "I know a station on the edge of the Andromeda sector. It's small, hidden. We can get what we need there." His mother didn't look convinced. "And what about the Xarni? They might be waiting for us." Leo stepped forward. "We can't wait any longer. Pip, he can't last much longer like this. We need to move." His father sighed, but nodded. "All right, we'll stop there." The next morning, the Pathfinder dropped out of warp speed. A small refueling station floated in space, hidden away in a nearby asteroid field. It was dark, quiet, and far from the main trade routes. The crew was cautious, scanning every corner. They landed, and Leo and his parents went to check the station. It was abandoned. No lights. No crew. No movement. "Something's off," Leo's mother said, scanning the area. "It's too quiet." But they needed the supplies, so they went inside. Inside the station, it was empty. Not a single soul. "Weird," Leo muttered. "Where is everyone?" The station was old, the walls covered in dust, but everything was still functional. They found the fuel ports and started refueling. It was taking longer than usual. Leo sat on a crate, looking at the empty station. His mind wandered back to Pip. The creature was still in the medbay, resting, trying to heal. Suddenly, Leo's father appeared at the door. He looked tense. "Leo, we need to talk." "What's wrong?" Leo asked, standing up. His father's face was grim. "There's something here, something hidden." Leo's heart skipped a beat. "What do you mean?" His father pulled out a small device. "This station, it's not just for refueling. Look at this." He showed Leo a map on the device. It led to a hidden door in the back of the station. A hidden room. Leo asked, "What's inside?" His father didn't answer. He just gestured for Leo to follow. They found the hidden door, locked and dusty. Leo's father opened it with a quick swipe of his hand. Inside was a room full of old, abandoned technology. But one thing stood out, a large metal door at the far end. It was sealed tight, Leo's father examined it carefully. "This door, it's not from any ship I've ever seen," he said. "This is Carney tech." Leo's blood ran cold. The Xarni were here. His father nodded. They were here, and they left something behind. Leo stepped closer to the door. "What's behind it?" "I don't know," his father said, "but we're about to find out." The door hissed as it opened. Inside was a dark room, filled with a strange hum. As Leo and his father stepped inside, they saw something that made their blood run cold. Rows of pods, dozens of them. Each one held a creature, just like Pip. Pip's voice echoed in Leo's mind. "They keep us in pods, hurt us, control." Leo stared at the creatures in the pods. Some were glowing like Pip, others were dim and lifeless, but all of them were imprisoned. Pip's words rang in his ears. "This is it, the vault." Leo's father looked at him, eyes wide. "This is where they kept them." Leo's heart ached. "We have to save them." Suddenly, there was a loud noise. The door slammed shut behind them. "We've got company," Leo's father said. A voice echoed over the intercom. It was cold, mechanical. "You've found our secret. Too bad, it's the last thing you'll ever do." The Xarni were here. The stars outside the Pathfinder were silent, but Leo's mind was anything but. The ship was moving fast, but it felt like the journey was taking forever. He sat next to Pip, who was still weak but recovering, his glowing form flickering with new energy. Leo's father was at the controls, his face grim. The Xarni fleet was far behind, but Leo knew they wouldn't stop. They never stopped. "They won't give up, will they?" Leo asked, his voice quiet. Pip's soft voice filled his mind. "No, they never stop. They are many. But now, you are not alone." Leo nodded. "We have to be ready. We're going to need help. The whole galaxy needs to know what's happening." Back in the medbay, Leo's mother was working on a new plan. The creatures they'd freed from the vault were resting now, but she knew the fight wasn't over. There were so many of them, creatures who had been trapped, controlled, and used as weapons, and they were ready to fight back. She looked at Leo's father. "We can't just run. We have to unite the other species, warn Earth, warn everyone." Leo's father rubbed his eyes. "I know, but the Xarni are already making moves. Their fleet is vast. They've controlled this galaxy for too long." Leo's mother turned to face him. "So we fight. We don't give up." Her voice was steady, but Leo could see the fear in her eyes. The next day, the Pathfinder arrived in Earth's orbit. The blue planet looked peaceful from space, but Leo knew that peace could be shattered at any moment. The message was sent. "We need to talk," Leo's father said as he opened a comm channel. "We have information about the Xarni, about what they've been doing. It's worse than anyone thought." Back on Earth, the response was immediate. Government officials and military leaders gathered. They didn't understand everything, but they knew they couldn't ignore the warning. The Xarni had been a mystery for years. Their fleets had swept through space, controlling everything in their path. But now Leo and his family were telling the truth. The Xarni weren't just conquerors, they were hunters, and they were using innocent creatures, species from other worlds, as weapons. "We need to strike first," Leo's father said. "We need to take the fight to them." The military leaders weren't so sure. "We don't even know where their home base is," one of them said. "How do we fight a war when we don't even know where they're hiding?" Leo spoke up. "We've seen their ships. We've seen their vault. We've seen their weakness. They control everything through fear, but we're not afraid anymore. We have the creatures. We have Pip." The leaders looked at each other. They weren't ready to fight yet, but they were listening. That was the first step. Meanwhile, Pip was recovering faster than anyone had expected. His energy was growing stronger. The other creatures, his friends, were learning. They were discovering their powers and their ability to fight. Together, They could do more than just survive. They could push back. Leo walked into the med-bay, where Pip was sitting up, his glowing eyes bright. "We're ready," Leo said. "Earth is listening. They know the truth now." Pip nodded slowly. "Good. The hive is watching. They will not give up, but neither will we." Leo smiled. "We're not alone anymore. We've got you." Pip's glowing eyes brightened. "Together, we will win." Back on Earth, preparations were underway. Ships were being built. Plans were being drawn. The galaxy would not fall without a fight. But Leo knew it wouldn't be easy. The Xarni had control over so many worlds. Their army was strong. But they had something the Xarni didn't have: hope. As the days passed, the Pathfinder was refueled, and the creatures were trained. They learned how to fight, how to use their powers. They were more than just weapons. They were warriors. And they were ready to fight for their freedom. The leaders of Earth watched, uncertain but hopeful. "We're going to fight," Leo's father said. "And we'll win. But we need everyone." Leo stood on the observation deck, staring out at Earth. The planet looked so peaceful, so perfect. But Leo knew the peace wouldn't last unless they acted. Suddenly, Pip's voice echoed in his mind. "The hive is moving. They are coming." Leo's heart skipped a beat. The Xarni were already planning their next move. They wouldn't wait. They couldn't. It was time. "We're ready," Leo said quietly. His father appeared beside him. "We are, Leo. We're going to take the fight to them. We're going to win this war. For all of us." The Pathfinder lifted off again, leaving Earth's atmosphere. This time, they weren't just running. They were fighting. The war for the galaxy had just begun. The end